Welcome to another video on my driving robot discovery based on the TXT controller of fischertechnik. I intended to focus entirely on the software, and both the software on the controller as on the SD card on which it is running now, which is the community firmware. There comes new focus with it. Reason is that you now see the net adapter connecting to the robot, which has a special reason, because usually I use that battery that you can see here with some wires running through a lamp and then connected to the interface. However, in the past 5 even more minutes prior to this recording, I was setting the time and the date of the interface, and then all of a sudden the display went dark, then the button went off, and in sequential attempts it just went off, and then I power it on and it goes off again. So now I want to test the software and see if the controller still turns off when connected to the net power, because those have different entrances. Actually, the battery entrance is at the same side of the display, while the power entrance from the cable is on top side. So with all that, you see that I have already logged on. So first of all, let's see how it behaves when I do it like this. And for this I can just as well let's just minimize this window a bit. Alright, so let's select this one and see how it runs. And yes, the intention is to see how it runs when colliding with an object with the start sensor. So I put a battery pack somewhere here, and see its behavior. If everything works. Alright, something I did wrong with the software. So it says in line 203 I have an indentation wrong. Yes, I do. I do certainly have an indentation wrong. And with Python you only find out when you run it, because it's an interpreter, it's not a compiler. And the compiler does it all in once, and that's just not the same as with an interpreter. So let's I hope that this is alright now. Yes, this has already been done. No. Escape. Alright, so new attempt. Invalid syntax. Line 225. What is the invalid syntax? I don't assume that this is the invalid syntax. Still the same. Oh wait, I think I should do it like this. That is better, I think. Yes, that is better. Another indentation. And it diverts from its course and runs off the screen. But well, several things happening, something outside the screen. What does happen? Several things happening. And yeah, okay, let's go look at it. We end with a programming error not defined, so let's first fix that part. Yeah, that should be an S. Apart from that, what do we find out? It gave several sounds. Contact 2 is 1. Yes, it bumped it to an object, most definitely. But it also diverted. So, because when looking here, it went like not like this, but it went like that. And I want it to be here you see a difference. Anyway, the driving seems to be alright. Let's do it again. And this time hopefully with some kind of collision in screen. Oh really? Why is that? So I have to quit this. Alright, I will have to cancel 1170 process 1170, I think. Yes. So let's do it again. Alright, so what did I notice? It stops, but also it made an attempt of a turn, and that is exactly what I wanted to see. only the turn didn't happen as much as I thought or hoped. Now, why is that? It is touching the sonar as well. It's not clearly visible here, but it is touching the sonar. But how much does it turn anyway? So it drives on. Contact 1. Is this contact 1? I think it's 2. Although here it says contact 1 is 0. So, oh, here. Contact 1 is 1. Yes. And after contact 1 is 0. But indeed, what happens with the robot when contact 1 is done? It stops. Oh, and that's it. No, that's not it, because it will turn. It will definitely turn. But how much? Let's see to these results. Distance is 270. And it started out with what? No. 180. So in the end with 270 it has driven from here to there, and then it should turn around for 200. So you may assume that is quite a turn, and yet it doesn't do that. Alright, interesting. Let's see if we can, if I can repeat this, because one-time results don't count. So I'm back on its place, more or less. Let's see how it does again. Will it run in a straight line or not? Well, it's connected anyway, so that's a good one. And once again, the start of a turn, but not quite. So what happens if I do it another way with the other sensor? So let's set that up. And let's run it. Well, those were two sounds, crackling wood and oh, alarm. Yeah, it sounded the alarm. Only, yes, and that is exactly what I wanted to see. So let's go here. sound airplane is for a turn to the right, and now contact 2 is alarm, turn to the left, but the turn to the right and left, both for 200, is very little. So I wonder if I should change that. The speed doesn't matter, the distance does, so let me change this to 400 and this as well. Then go here and do exactly the same. 400 and 400. See what difference that makes. Yeah. So another preparation. Alright, let's go. Okay, that was a clear response, although not entirely correct as planned. Not entirely as planned, let me put it that way. It clearly diverted from its course. Very clearly. But then again, this was very come on, why does, yeah, now it does. The 400 was clearly an improvement, so 200 turn isn't much. 400 is a lot more, of course, but in movement also clearly, so it was 200 is too little to make a difference. Then again, a very odd thing. You expect something like a straight line, it diverges and it diverts. And the way I have written the software now is meant not to divert. Alright, so not entirely as wished. Which brings me to the other side of the software, the non-community version, the original one, because that I have to test as well. Will it go the same way? So that is up next. Right now there is a problem with the intended actions. I have taken or ejected the SD card, so it does run the original firmware. However, in this case it deploys the HCP server with a very different IP address from my own range. In this case it's the 192.168.8 something address, which is common for the TXT controller. But I am back to square one where it comes to connecting. If you have watched my series of videos so far with this controller, then you know that there is a problem with the DHCP server, and that comes in direct sign with problem connecting. So it doesn't connect, which means I can't do anything using. I even had it on tabletop directly adjacent to my computer, and it still would not connect. So end of series with end of attempt with the original firmware. Unfortunately. See, now it connects, but to what does it connect? Well, not this one, and it doesn't even say it is there. So what I'm going to do is shut it down. It shut down, and reinsert or try to reinsert the SD card. Now it is. Power it up. And the attempt to set the date straight, date and time, I'll leave for now. I'll just check if it starts well, and considering the yellow progress bar, it is doing just correct. Yes, there is the interface. So if I do like this, yes, that is alright, because it now supports, well, I've disabled the DHCP interface and I've given it my own one. So here we go. And I'm in again. And provided typing errors, I am in. And hopefully make a nice run again. There it goes. Okay, it makes a very small turn. Why? It connects it contact to 2. So I have to go here to and as you can see, by the way, connecting now is not a single problem. Oh, see, I had here set distance to 400, and yet you saw it contacting. After contact is 2, here contact, yes. It sounded alarm, so that was for the contact. Or was it? Yep, was for the contact. And yet a very small turn. But alright, it did something. So what should it do when this just sonar distance? Oh, contact 1 and contact 2. What? A bell. Let's test that as well. So what should it do? Just drive backwards. And I'll make that accordingly to 400 pulses. So let's reset up with 2 objects and see whatever happens. So for the last part of this video, let's see how this works out. Should do something. A little bit what? Needless to say that I didn't quite expect this to happen. Sonar. Count difference, minus 21, minus 25. Alright, let's, oops, that was not the intention. No. Come on. Come on. Why does this happen? Alright. Anyway, what happens here? Oops, something goes wrong here. I think this should be both 200. Am I correct? Alright, I'm going to quit the software, go back. The only way I can be sure that the old code is still preserved. And here I am. Oh, see, distance is just on one set. Really? So that means that indeed only the right side is doing something. The right side. Why would that be? You contact, and then it would be logical if they both do something, because now it looks like it makes a right turn. Well, that's exactly what happens. So it does exactly now what it is supposed to do. That's the only conclusion. So there's no set distance, just this is what exactly what happens, and I did not really expect that. I can make a difference, of course. Let's just do that. And then say, alright, this will be left. Let's reset up. And see whatever happens. And go. Both contact, but what happens? Here it ends. And now it only makes one turn to the left. So now only this one happens. Really. Okay, I think that's it for this episode. Unfortunately, I could not make the firmware connection on the without the SD card. So I have to gamble how that went, and I'm not going to do that. What I really need to look into is the power to the controller, because so far the wired has some quirks. I mean, from the battery has some quirks, and I don't like that. Displays go on and off, more likely off upon touching whichever, and then maybe I should open it because warranty is gone. But then again, what would I ruin? I don't know. Does it influence turning left, turning right? Well, it's a lightweight cable, so I can't really imagine that would be of any influence. And about this, well, I thought some nice things happening, but well, we'll see what's going to be done in the near future. Also with the original firmware, because why doesn't it want to connect? I know this is different laptop than I used to, but it should just connect, and it doesn't. It loses the connection with the DHCP server. 2 meters distance. I know from the past that was very doubtful. Yeah, well, you could I could see it that it was doubtful. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. If you like my videos and like my website and blog, please consider a small donation to keep it going. For more information and more projects, also see my website. This is certainly going to be continued. Bye bye.